AI agencies are about to become worthless in 2026. In fact, hundreds of AI agencies I know have already jumped ship onto this new business model that's landing them high-paying clients 100 times easier and is way less competitive. So I'm going to show you what this insanely effective and lucrative model is, why it absolutely destroys AI agencies on every level, and how you can take advantage of it before everyone else catches on, because it already made my agency $49K in 65 days. First, I need to show you why you're doomed if you stick with AI agencies in 2026, and what you must do instead to actually scale your agency. So currently, the agency space is in a really weird spot. No one can get businesses to reply, nobody is booking meetings, let alone making a sale. And it's about to get even worse in 2026. That's because all of these agency owners are reaching out to business owners that already are skeptical and sick being sold to, with the same scripts, offers, outreach methods, and so on. This worked 5 years ago, but the market has changed. Now the agency space has been flooded with so many wannabe AI agency owners, business owners' inboxes are looking like this. And the bad news is it's only going to get worse. So if you want to have a chance of getting clients, you need to stand out and have a unique approach that gets businesses excited to work with you. But how do you actually do that? Well, after testing tons of different strategies for my own agency, I have found a new model that fixes this issue. And it's working so well, it has booked me 8 times more meetings, 3x my close rates, and made me $49K in the last 65 days. So I'm going to show you exactly how it works so you can copy it and use it to grow your agency. You see, the problem with most agencies is that they do the following: cold outreach, book calls, hard sell AI, client churn, and then they start over again. This keeps them in a constant hamster wheel of struggling to find new clients just to keep their business alive. Instead, we want to gain the trust of these businesses by giving them something valuable we know they already want. This does a couple of cool things. First, by showing them something of value, it turns cold outreach into warm outreach, which makes their response rates explode and makes the sales calls much easier. Secondly, because they've already had a positive experience working with you, you could upsell them later on any service in your agency. These services you were going to offer them anyway, but now it's a much easier sell. But how do you actually give them something valuable without spending hours on each prospect? That's where most people fail. They think, well, I'd love to give value first, but I can't spend 5 hours per potential client. But you don't have to. Instead of building them a custom strategy or doing a full audit, you build them a fully custom SEO optimized website using AI. With the right tool, it takes minutes, maybe 2 if you're slow. You show it on the sales call and suddenly you're not just another agency sending generic emails, you're the person who actually did something for them before asking for anything in return. So that's the strategy, but how do you actually put this into practice and take advantage of it before everyone else catches on? Alright, so step 1 is choosing a goldmine niche. And this is critical because this strategy won't work for just any niche. You can have the perfect offer, perfect marketing, but if your prospect doesn't have the money to spend, you won't make a sale. So the businesses you're reaching out to need to charge high prices per client. I'm talking about accountants, law firms, contractors, businesses that can easily charge 2 to 5K for a single customer. Next, they need to have terrible websites. Most service-based businesses haven't updated their site in 15 plus years. So they know they need help. They just don't have the time, or they don't know how to do it. Now for step 2, you're going to scrape 1,000 leads for the niche you just picked, and with the right tools, this only takes 5 minutes. So go to LeadSwift. It's a paid service, but you can get a 7-day free trial, which is plenty of time to test this whole strategy. Now the next step is to cold call them, which has a much higher response rate than email. Now you might be thinking, Dylan, I hate cold calling, I'm not good at it, I don't want to do it. That's exactly why we're not going to do this ourselves. Step 3 is where this gets fun. You're going to hire someone else to do the cold calling for you without having to pay them up front. Go to Upwork, search for cold caller or dialer, filter by high rated freelancers and experience in B2B outreach. You're going to find people who live for this, people who make 100 calls a day and don't blink. Now here's what I've been doing to make sure I don't waste thousands of dollars on someone who can't cold call. Hire them on commission only, 10% of whatever they close. This means you only pay them when they book a meeting that turns into a client. This aligns your incentives perfectly. They're motivated because they only get what they deliver, and you're not risking money on someone who might not perform. Give them the call script, the lead list, and then let them do their thing. They're going to book 5 to 10 meetings per week, and your only job is to show up and close the deal. Now, step 4 is my favorite part because it only takes a couple of minutes, but it makes sales 100 times easier. Before each sales call, you're going to generate a custom AI website for that prospect. I built my own custom AI model that generates sleek, conversion-focused websites in under 60 seconds that you can plug in their business name, their niche, basic info, and get a nice website without doing hours of work. Alright, so step 5 is where the magic happens because during the sales call, you're going to do the following. You're going to show them a before of their current website and then the after, which is the beautiful modern site that immediately shows them what they could have. People buy with their eyes first. You can tell them and convince them they need a better website, but they won't believe it until they see it. The AI website does that in 30 seconds. Your close rates will literally go from 20 to 55% by doing this because they can actually visualize what you're creating. Now, you don't just want to stop there because remember, we want monthly revenue. So on the same call, you're going to connect that website to your other agency services. So for example, if that's SEO, you're going to tell them something like, the problem is without proper SEO, a site is just an expensive digital flyer. That's why we also need to optimize your website to rank on Google. And then you basically upsell them your agency services. You can easily charge 2.5K upfront per client. Now, once you've closed your first few deals, here's how you scale this to 30K per month. You're going to hire 2 more dialers, same commission, same structure, but instead of targeting just New York, you're going to target different cities. Accountants in LA, accountants in Chicago, roofers in Miami, and so on. When all these dialers are booking you 30 meetings per month and you're closing 30 to 40% of those at 2.5K per client, that's 30K per month. And here's the best part. Once they're locked into that monthly package, you can start stacking revenue with every client. They see results, the leads go up, and everyone wins. And when they're happy, you can upsell them again and say things like, hey, we've been doing great on lead gen. Have you thought about things like AI automations or SEO and so on? That's easily another 2K per month per client. But now that you know exactly how to scale your agency to 30K per month, you still need a lead generation strategy that can keep your dialers busy. So make sure to watch this video next because in this video, I'm going to show you how to get unlimited qualified leads in only a few minutes.